Hi everyone, it's Kim from Affordably Crafty, and I wanted to share with you this very interesting magazine called Piecework, All This by Hand. And this month their feature is Exploring Crochet's Tangled History. Hi, if you're new here, my name's Kim, and my channel is all about learning how to be affordably crafty. Hi, if you're new here, my name's Kim, and my channel is all about learning how to stretch your craft dollar and be affordably crafty. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and join our Facebook group. So, I have a high interest in vintage crochet, for those of you that don't know that. I have a playlist on my channel. But I thought this was interesting because it's a current magazine. There's also a section on Tunisian crochet, Queen Victoria bobbin lace, slip stitch crochet gloves. So these are from the 1800s, I believe. I definitely want to make this. I have to look in my stash and see if I have any lace weight yarn, because that's what it's made out of. And so this comes out 4 times a year, I think. This is the winter one. And it's by Long Thread Media. They have some other magazines they have out too. So I guess you learn a different stitch each time, which is this. Pocket size sewing kits. There's a nice story on Inuit string figures, which you do with your hands, and then how to do a kayak. A really awesome solar system quilt made in the 19th century. Socks and stockings from Portugal. Step into knitting history and explore colorwork socks from the Iberian Peninsula. That's interesting. There's a high Portuguese population where I live in Massachusetts. The origins of a woolen skullcap, boiled wool skullcap. Evolution in early crochet from flat hook knitting to slip stitch crochet. Travel the linguistic crossroads of 19th century knitting and crochet. So obviously this is the reason that I bought this. Hold on. Then it also seems like they have some projects in each book, which is nice. So there's the slip stitch crochet gloves from the front of the magazine. Lives of 16th century knitters. They're talking about a lace veil worn by Victoria, Queen Victoria. Exploring the tree of life and felt tapestry. And then each month they have a notion section, letters, necessities, the long thread, and the last words. Don't miss out. Oh, they have submission calls? That's interesting. Hold on. They also have some really nice advertisements in here. I know, advertisements, right? But there are different companies that some of them I haven't heard of before. Like this one, Hip Strings Vintage Style Modern Craft, and also this one. Now, I've done a little research into this company. Spinning a Tradition of Quality, brownsheep.com. It's in Mitchell, Nebraska. Brown Sheep Company is celebrating 40 years of making wool yarns in the U.S. with attention to detail every step of the way. I am going to be doing a review on this yarn and talking all about it in a very soon video. I highly suggest checking them out. I have an interesting article on pocket-sized sewing kits. Time capsules. This is the beautiful solar system quilt. From the National Museum of American History, which is cool. This was made in the 1800s. So apparently this company, Long Thread Media, who I hadn't heard of until recently, has a whole magazine on weaving, one on spinning, and this one which focuses more on vintage things, it seems like. So this one is on vintage knitted lace. And then they have really specific books like knitting Lithuanian socks, shuttle tatting, whatever Orenburg knitting is. Long Thread Media. These are the beautiful Portuguese socks that are beautiful. So this is an excerpt from the book Portuguese Knitting, a historical and practical guide of traditional Portuguese techniques with 20 inspirational projects. More information on page 37. Here we go. pretty. Nice. Evolutions in early crochet, from flat hook knitting to slip stitch crochet. So this is slip stitch crochet. If you haven't seen that before, I guess that's traditional way that they started with crochet, which was just slip stitches all the time. And apparently they used flat hooks that look like... Do I have any fiber friends on here who know how to 3D print? I would be interested in recreating these and making something with it. These are called flat hooks. I'll have to look up online and see if you can get that somewhere. Maybe Etsy, I'm not sure. But it'd be interesting to try that. And then there's a nail hook here also. Interesting. Does anybody on here 3D print? Please comment down below if you do. This is one of the metal flat hooks. Isn't that cool? Sweater from 1918 is worked in slip stitch and single crochet. Isn't that cool? They only give part of the pattern though. These are the really nice slip stitch gloves I would like to try. It's an 1854 pattern, which is shared and written out in this magazine. I'd highly suggest. I have to look and see if I have any lace weight in my stash. Needlework you won't find anywhere else. Piecework is the only magazine for those who adore historical knitting techniques, embellished clothing, stunning quilts, amazing embroidery, and exquisite lacework, all made by hand. Print and digital, so they have 4 issues per year. Well, they have a digital only. That's interesting. Let me see. Oh, that's pretty. Felt Tree of Life tapestry. That's beautiful. Isn't that pretty? Love that Celtic knotwork trunk for the tree. Oh, apparently they have a podcast. Stories of Cloth, Thread, and Their Makers, the Long Thread Podcast. Interview your favorite needleworkers and fiber artists from around the globe. Well, that's cool. Let's check that out. Celebrating over 50 years of independent specialist art and crafts publications. Search Press. Book of Embroidery, Portuguese Knitting, Embroidered Flowers. Ooh, I'll have to check out this company. A Victorian Knitting Journey, inspired by Jane Eyre. Ooh, Encyclopedia of Embroidery. How to Weave a Navajo Rug. Jane Austen Embroidery. Ooh. Regency Patterns Reimagined for Modern Stitches. Oh, that sounds fun. And then on the back we have Lisa Souza Knitwear and Design Work. I like that saying. Keep exploring. It's so good for your soul. Yarn. All right. So I highly suggest checking out this magazine, Piecework, if you have any interest in vintage crochet or fiber arts. But again, this one has a crochet feature, and there is this crochet pattern from the 1800s in there. So yes, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you share it with your friends so they can learn how to be affordably crafty too. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have an awesome day, everyone. Have a creative day, everyone. Bye.